Right, I tried recording this a second ago, but I was a bit too overexcited. And I still am. This is probably the most sort of game-changing Hoya concept I've ever seen. Because Hoya is sort of just TPS and influencing edges until now, but this is a really cool thing. So this is like one of the worst cases you can get. Like this is last edge, so you have to do like a thing move insert and take it out, or a B move, or something like that. There's not really a great way of doing it, so I would usually just take it out. But this can be solved in like 5 really finger tricky moves by doing RY2, U, R, U prime, RY2. This also works in the front. I mean, this case is very easily solvable like that, but we've got that as an option. We've also got the lefty. We can do the RY2 still, insert it in formulas like that, and then RY2 undo, and this will not affect centers. Like the centers will stay in the same place. You don't even have to, like, even if the centers were solved, I say solved, they'll stay solved. So like if you accidentally didn't solve one of your cross edges, it's fine. And I just want to say that this has like ridiculous amounts of applications, like a stupid amount of applications. When I first discovered it, I was like, that's a pretty neat insert, but then I put down the 4x4 and I picked up some other big cubes, and this is awesome. So I'm just going to show some applications on bigger cubes, and just some examples of really cool cases, but I will elaborate more on why it works, how this gets figured out, and like just potential other ways it can be used. So here we can see on 5x5 this works as well. Pretty easy insert like that. That one's not as useful, but just as proof of concept, so I can go into this next one, because this one is the real mind blower. Here we have both of these edges in the back, so I'll do a big LY2, insert that, M2, do this insert, bam, and that solves both of those edges extremely efficiently. You can also use these concepts to solve pieces into the DB spot. Now this must be like really hard to spot, and a lot harder to spot than the normal cases, but it's just an idea. I'm now going to do just a 6x6 cross edge thing and just see what comes up, because I'm pretty sure this comes up like quite a bit. Right, so I'm just going to start solving some cross edges now. This one's pretty easy to do without it. I guess I'll do blue next. Blue pieces again, fairly easy to do without. Let's do orange. Oops. We do have a case. We can do M2 insert like that. Okay, yeah, we only got one case, but I did some solves earlier where I got like 3 or 4 times like those cases in a solve, because basically if you've got an edge that's white facing outwards on the back, you can just do R and L moves, but if it's facing the other way around, it's not that. You'd have to do a B move, and so that's where this becomes really common. So that's the idea. I've not done it justice there, but let's talk a bit more about this. So the basic insert was first mentioned in the Big Cuber server by SatzvonFubini. I hope I'm saying that right. And Jake Brown sent it to me today. The reason it works, if we imagine we're a Yao solver for some reason, and we just finished our centers, something Yao solvers will often do is slice, insert, undo slice to make their last cross edge. And that's actually exactly what we're doing here. Just slicing, inserting, and undo. And, you know, the reason they do it in Yao is because it doesn't disrupt the centers. That's the same with Hoya. It doesn't disrupt the centers at all, so we can apply that in a lot of different ways. For example, I think it doesn't always happen, but sometimes you end up with this. You've accidentally not solved your last edge. you're going to have a lot easier time solving that now. So I think it's fairly big. We need to think of it as a different way of thinking about inserts. So the one downside to this is it requires a bit of a better awareness of the back slots on the cube, but I think that's something that can be developed, and to be honest, if you don't have awareness of the back slots anyway, you will just be aimlessly doing that a lot in your solves just to find pieces, whereas really we should be able to deduce by glancing at the left and right sides where things are, especially when it comes to last cross edges. This is where I think this is really powerful, because to be honest, in other parts of the solve, it's easy to just do single R and L moves. And that's why I prefer this to doing things like forcing the back slots to have an edge without any white in it. I don't like that because that stops you from just doing single R and L moves. And also, it's just a bit of extra mental gymnastics, whereas here, we're just adding a new way of pairing up edges. So this is the same as, instead of just pairing things up into the bottom, pairing things into the top as well and inserting them. And so we've got this case for green, like being able to pair them up and doing moves like that and just insert them is another concept that it takes a bit to get used to, but once you realise how they work, you're going to have a pretty easy time getting a few more easy cross solutions. The main thing people say about Hoya is that the cross edges are inefficient, and because of this we're going to be able to get much more efficient cross edges. And so, along with the benefits that come from Hoya specifically, like better centres, we might actually be able to see some people getting to like much more ridiculous levels, like sub 25 4x4, yeah, pretty easy. People getting, you know, I can hardly theorise, but Hoya's not being developed enough, and this is the first like major new concept I've seen for Hoya for like a while. So if you're a Hoya solver, I really recommend you pull out 5x5, 4x4, 6x6, 7x7. Find some of these tricks, find different applications, start applying them in your untimed solves, and if you find anything cool like this, then please post it in the BigCuber server, preferably, or on the BigCubers on the Hoya Facebook group, and just make this known to us so we can really develop this concept a bit more and other concepts. And yeah, hope this helps you.